Hare Krishna everyone, my name is Madan Mohini dasi and I'm going to give an online class now, so I thought of broadcasting it on Facebook also.
For interrupting your ecstatic chanting. Let us go on to our next part of this session, which is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita class. May I know who all joined? Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Supriya Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining and giving your association and very beautiful chanting Mataji. Thank you so much Sri Leela. Thank you Lakshmi. Thank you so much Mataji.
Hare Krishna Vinaya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you Mataji for your warm welcoming. Thank you Supriya Mataji, Sri Leela and Lakshmi for the very beautiful chanting. Hare Krishna. This is Preeti Vilasani Dasi from
Hare Krishna Preeti Vilasani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining and giving your association. Thank you so much for beautiful chanting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Anjana Gupta Devidasi from Midland, Texas.
Hare Krishna Anjana Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining and giving your association. Hare Krishna. And thank you so much for beautiful chanting.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Avinanda from Omaha.
Hare Krishna Avinandan Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shama Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Madan Mohini dasi.
Hare Krishna Madan Mohini Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining and giving your association. Waiting for your Nectarian class Mataji.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Are you all able to hear me clearly?
Muted. Unmuted.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Can you hear me properly?
Yes Mataji, I can hear you Mataji.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah Mataji. Okay.
The recording has started.
Hare Krishna. Today we are very fortunate to have Her Grace Madana Mohana Mohini Mataji to enlighten us on topic Chaitanya Charitamrita. Before handovering her the call, I request Vilasni Mataji to give a brief introduction about Mataji. Vilasni Mataji, please take over the call.
Krishna. Today's welcome everyone to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference, and today we have a very special speaker with us. It's a great fortune to have her among us today. Our speaker for today is Her Grace Madan Mohan Mohini Devidasi. Mataji was brought up in Gujarat, Ujjain and Pune, where her parents Parshuram Das and Shyamalangi Radhika Dasi served, and she's been battling a genetic condition called muscular dystrophy. Ever since her school days, however, she's been a topper in school, and she has inspired hundreds and thousands of youngsters around the world. Now, Mohini shifted her laser focus that she had in her studies to Krishna consciousness. She reads books, she listens to lectures, and she loves watching memories of Srila Prabhupada on YouTube. On Vyas Puja Day 2016, she wrote to Prabhupada, "You are the life and soul of your disciples. When will you become my life and soul also? I want to completely surrender to you and Krishna and serve all the devotees." Inspired by his teachings and legacy of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, she started a Facebook page called Drops, as well as a WhatsApp group. Madan, I just want to utilize every single day of my life in a systematic Krishna conscious way. And on Sunday, July 8th, At the age of 18, she received her first and second initiation simultaneously from Giriraj Swami Maharaj, who had also been an inspiration and support for her. Her name, he told her, was Madan Mohana Mohini Dasi, after her beloved Radha Madan Mohan deities. Madan Mohana Mohini also expressed her trademark determination. I don't want to waste the opportunity I have, she wrote. I don't want to take even a single moment in Krishna consciousness for granted. Whatever little time I have, I want to be filled up with pure, selfless love for Madan Mohan and his devotees, unmotivated, uninterrupted, pure devotional service. With words like these, Mohini's future in this life and beyond is very, very bright. And her example will always be a huge inspiration to all of us as we face life's toughest challenges and try to become more dedicated in the service of the Lord. We are so fortunate to have you today, Mataji. We are out of words in thanking you for coming on this call, and thank you so much. You can now take over the call. Hare Krishna. She will be reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 23, verse 62 onwards. Thank you, Mataji, for your most precious association. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share whatever I have, and I pray that to all the Vaishnavas that I can, whatever I speak, I can do it nicely. So I'll start with the invocation prayers. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschate Deshatarine Mukham Karoti Vachanam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya
Mataji,
Yes.
sorry Mataji,
Yeah.
some kind of background is coming from your side. The sound is completely clear, but the kind of background noise is coming. Is everybody's getting same or for me only?
A little distant, Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada's Kirtan is playing in the background. I'll switch that off. Just a minute.
Still is some kind of...
Mataji, are you on the phone or laptop, Mataji?
I'm on the phone.
If you are on the phone, maybe you are on the FCC app speaker, Mataji. Can you off that speaker on the FCC? Because of that, it gives some echo.
Oh, on the speaker. Let me try turning up the speaker then. How is it now?
Now is better.
Okay, so I'll continue. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So just a second, I'll put on my earphones so it's better. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we're reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 23, entitled Life's Ultimate Goal, Love of Godhead. Text. Sambhoga vipralamba bhede dvivida shringar Sambhogeranantanga nahi antatar. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. In the conjugal love, Shringara, there are two departments, meeting and separation. On the platform of meeting, there are unlimited varieties that are beyond description. Purport. Vipralamba is described in the Ujjvala Nilamani, Vipralamba Prakarana 3 and 4. Yunora yuktayor bhavo, yuktayor vathayo mitha, abhishtalinganadinam, anavaptao prakrishyate. Sa vipralambo vigneya, sambhogo natikaraka, na vina vipralambena, sambhoga pushtamashnate. When the lover and the beloved meet, they are called yukta, connected. Previous to their meeting, they are called ayukta, not connected. Whether connected or not connected, the ecstatic emotion arising due to not being able to embrace and kiss each other as desired is called vipralamba. This vipralamba helps nourish emotions at the time of meeting. Similarly, Sambhoga is described in the following verse quoted from the Vedic literature by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his Anubhasya. Darshanalinganatinam anukulyan nishevaya yunorullasa bhava sambhoga irate. Meeting each other and embracing each other are aimed at bringing about the happiness of the lover and the beloved. When this stage becomes increasingly jubilant, the resultant ecstatic emotion is called Sambhoga. When awakened, Sambhoga is divided into 4 categories. 1. Purvaraga Nantara. After Purvaraga, attachment prior to meeting, Sambhoga is called brief Sankshipta. 2nd, Manantara. After Mana, anger based on love, Sambhoga is called encroached, Sankirna. 3rd, Kinchit Dura Pravasanantara. After being a little distance away for some time, Sambhoga is called accomplished, Sampanna. 4th, Sudura Pravasanantara. After being far away, Sambhoga is called perfection, Samriddhiman. The meetings of the lover that take place in dreams also have these 4 divisions. Text 63. Vipralamba chaturvidha purvaragaman pravasakhyara prema vaichityakyan. Vipralamba has 4 divisions: Purvarag, Mana, Pravasa, and Prema Vaichitya. Purport. Purvaraga is described in the Ujjvala Nilamani, Vipralamba Prakarana 5. Ratirya Sangamat Purvam Darshana Shravanadija Unmilati Pragya Purvaraga Savachate. When attachment produced in the lover and beloved before their meeting by seeing, hearing, and so on becomes very palatable by the mixture of 4 ingredients such as Vibhava and Anubhava. This is called Purvarag. The word Mana is also described in the Ujjvala Nilamani, Vipralamba Prakarana 68. Dampatyor bhavekatra satorapyanu raktayo swabhishta shlesha vikshadi nirodhi mana uchyate. Mana is a word used to indicate the mood of the lover and the beloved experienced whether they are in one place or in different places. This mood obstructs their looking at each other and embracing each other despite the fact that they are attached to each other. Pravasa is also explained in the Ujjvala Nilamani, Vipralambha Prakarana 139 as follows. Purvasangatayor vyunor bhavet deshana taratibhe vyavadhanam tu yat pragya sapravasitiriyate. Pravasa is a word used to indicate the separation of lovers who were previously intimately associated. This separation is due to their being in different places. Similarly, Prema Vaichyatya is also explained in the Ujjvala Nilamani Vipralambha Prakarana 134. Priyasya sanikarshepi premokarsha svabhavata yavashesha dhyartistat prema vaichyatya muchyate. Prema Vaichyatya is a word used to indicate an abundance of love that brings about grief from fear of separation, although the lover is present. Text 64. Radhikatya Purva Raghav Prasiddha Pravasmane Prema Vaichyatya Shri Dashame Mahishigane. Of the four kinds of separation, three, Purvarag, Pravasa and Mana, are celebrated in Srimati Radharani and the Gopis. In Dwarka, among the queens, feelings of Prema Vaichyatya are very prominent. So, first of all, when Anjana Gopika Mataji shared the verse number with me and I read the name of the chapter, Life's Ultimate Goal, Love of Godhead, the name of the chapter itself is so special and so alluring that, I was thinking that what is there in this chapter? And yesterday as I was reading through the verses, to prepare for today's class, I found that this topic is a very high-level topic, describing the 5 different rasas, the mellows, 5 mellows, Shantaras, Dasiras, Sakyaras, Vatsalaras, and Madhyaras, and their subcategories and the emotions that are experienced in these relations with Krishna. I mean, for me, it felt like it's a lot of information. I never thought that on the sadhaka stage I would study all this. And I really feel unqualified to speak on such an exalted topic. But in a way, it is a beautiful description of the relations, the emotions that are there in the spiritual world. And for me, I'm a lot into emotions and I really like experiencing every emotion. So from one point of view, it's very nice to hear about all these different, whatever is described in these verses in this chapter, because it tells us about where we are going. We all are trying to go back to Godhead, go back to the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. And by reading these verses, we are coming to know the kinds of emotions that we are going to experience there, we're going to witness there. So it is very inspiring that, to know about it now. And it inspires us more to practice our bhakti more so that we can achieve that stage someday. But when I was reading these verses, the mood that came to my mind was about being in the moment. And what does being in the moment mean? It means that whatever our goal is, we keep our goal in mind, but we work on it day and night. And an important part of this is, often it happens, at least with me, that I have a goal and I really want to achieve that. But I spend a lot of time dreaming about it, that how nice it's going to be when I reach that level or when I achieve that goal of mine. So there's this quote of APJ Abdul Kalam, which says, dream isn't something you do while sleeping. A dream is something that doesn't let you sleep. So an important part is that we act now, keeping the goal in mind. And what is our goal? Our goal is to revive our dormant love for Krishna, love of God. And this is the the description in these verses is the description of love of God, that how the kind of emotions that Krishna's pure devotees experience in their love for him. So, as I said that while reading, I found that this is a very high level topic, and I was remembering something that His Holiness Indradyumna Maharaj told me once, that His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj told Indradyumna Maharaj that Tamal Krishna Maharaj can turn any verse, even if it's about a verse about Garbhodakshaya Vishnu or any verse in our scriptures, he can turn it to Sankirtan. And I was, this is going on in my mind, and this is the essence, right? The essence of Srila Prabhupada's movement is Sankirtan, and what Sankirtan is sharing this love of God. And in the process of sharing what we have, we also will get it. There's a quote of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj: the more we give mercy, the more we get mercy. And another quote of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, that in giving we receive. So, keeping that, with this desire to follow His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj's example of turning any verse into Sankirtan, I was trying to find a catch point which can help me, take a direction, find a way of how we can reach this level of experiencing these emotions or even getting to witness them. So, when I read the this last line in verse 63 in the purport, which says, Prema Vaichita is a word used to indicate an abundance of love that brings about grief from fear of separation, although the lover is present. And the next verse, text 64, says that in Dwarka, among the queens, feelings of Prema Vaichita are very prominent. And an example of this is a pastime of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. When Radharani and Krishna were spending time together, and somehow Radharani heard that. So there was a bumblebee, Madhu, trying to sort of disturb them. And Radharani, one of Krishna's friends, took that bumblebee away, chased that bumblebee away. And Radharani heard that Madhu is gone, Madhu is gone. And because Krishna is so, so sweet, he is sometimes addressed as Madhu. So Radharani, although Krishna was sitting on her side, Radharani started crying because she was so afraid that, oh no, Krishna has left me, and now how would I live without him? So this is an example of Prema Vaichita, that just the thought is so scary that Krishna is going to leave me or Krishna is gone, that she could not even realize that Krishna is still sitting on her side. So Prema Vaichita is an abundance of love that brings about grief from fear of separation, although the lover is present. And so what is Prema Vaichita exactly? It is fear of losing. And how does that fear come? That fear, the queens of Dwarka have that fear in them because Krishna's association, service to Krishna, is so, so important for them that just the thought of losing it, makes them so afraid. And an example of this is a businessman who, is successful, but no matter how successful a businessman is, no matter how much money they have, they're always afraid that I don't want to lose this money that I have. And that's why, all these insurance policies, and a businessman is always thinking about his money, that I cannot afford to lose this money, because money for a businessman is really important. So in the same way, of course, this is a mundane example, and the queens of Dwarka, Krishna's queens, are pure devotees of Krishna. And Krishna's love and association and service to Krishna is very, very important for them, and that is why they never take it for granted. Like once Rukmini and Krishna were sitting together, and Krishna just jokingly said something like, I'm going to go or something. She fainted with just the thought that Krishna is going to leave me. Rukmini fainted. And so, just the thought makes them very sad and fearful. And I have this experience, although it's a very faint experience compared to these queens. But, for example, sometimes if His Holiness Bhakti Chara Maharaj is visiting us and in Pune, and for example, if he's here for 2 days, the moment he enters the house, even before he comes, although I am really happy and blissful that he's going to come, but that fear is always there that as soon as he leaves, it's going to be so empty and lonely, and it feels like the light is taken away from our lives. So, or for example, right now the Sadhusanga retreat is going on, and we all experience this to some extent or the other. That now the Sadhusanga retreat in Boone, North Carolina is going on, and so many 2,400 devotees and so many sannyasis and gurus are there, Prabhupada disciples. And although all the devotees definitely must be having a great time there, but we always have this fear, right? Because of our past experience that as soon as this retreat or this yatra or this experience gets over, we have this fear that we're going to miss that association and it's going to be empty and lonely again. So this mood that the queens have, it really touched my heart. The value that they have for Krishna's association. And I thought that if we all can also develop the same value in our Krishna consciousness somehow, it's going to be life-changing. Value for association of devotees, value that we have the holy name, that we can go to the temple and serve there and take darshan of the deities and, be with the devotees. Value that we have this movement. Srila Prabhupada created this movement. For who? For us, he created this movement for all of us. That we have our gurus, these books, these Vedic literatures, our value for this opportunity that we have to go back to God at the end of this very life. Srila Prabhupada said that we can go back to God at the end of this very life. But the problem is that we are not able to value it fully. And that's because, so there's a lack of sense of urgency. Like Parikshit Maharaj, when he got that curse from the Brahmana, that he will, from the son of the Brahmana, that he will die in 7 days. Parikshit Maharaj knew that it is urgent and he needs to put everything aside and focus on Krishna now. And the thing is that Parikshit Maharaj knew that he has 7 days, but we don't even know if we have that much time or not. We could have 7 minutes, we could have 70 years also, but we do not know how much time we have, and we need to value this process even more. Because I'm sure being in this material world for so many years in this life and so many lifetimes, and we don't even know how many lifetimes, we have experienced that it is not a good place. We are not able to survive. We're just somehow, trying to make it to the day every day. Like we're struggling so badly. I'm sure we do not, after that experience, we do not want to come back in the material world. And now we have this opportunity, and if we can value it, there's nothing like it. I mean, our existence is going to change beyond what we can imagine right now, beyond what we can understand right now. So the problem is that we're not able to value all this enough, like the queens of Dwarka. Like the queens of Dwarka are able to value Krishna's association and service. And sometimes either we are very busy in our lives, because of course we do have responsibilities, family, job, studies, so many things, maintaining our bodies. it is a struggle to survive in the material world. So there are so many things that keep us busy. But either we are too busy that we are not able to care enough to focus on our bhakti, or that even if we want, we get distracted, because, and distraction means attraction for anything other than Krishna. And Krishna includes, Krishna consciousness, association of devotees, everything related to Krishna. We get distracted because practicing bhakti is like, we are in this river of Maya, and practicing Krishna consciousness is like trying to go against the current in the river. And so it is difficult. And so I was thinking that what is it that we can do that can help us value this Krishna consciousness that we have, like the queens of Dwarka. And I realized that Sankirtan, preaching, because Sankirtan is all we need. And Sankirtan doesn't always mean like, as you all know, that Sankirtan doesn't always mean that going out on the streets and dancing on the streets and doing Kirtan. Sankirtan can be anything, any Krishna conscious activity, because preaching means being an example. So Sankirtan is, if we can be good examples of good devotees, then that is preaching, that is Sankirtan. And the best part the thing that I like the most about this process is it's Krishna consciousness. Of course, we have to do Krishna conscious activities because that helps us be conscious of Krishna, but consciousness is the main thing here. And if we are we can, whatever we are doing, we have to do so many things in our lives which are not directly Krishna conscious, but if our consciousness as Krishna, if we are meditating on Guru and Krishna all the time, if we are remembering them, then we are preaching. And so all the Sankirtan, I said that Sankirtan can help us value it, but how will Sankirtan help us value this Krishna consciousness? And the answer I feel is when we share this Krishna consciousness with other struggling conditioned souls, when we share it and when we'll see that they're smiling, there's going to be deep satisfaction in their hearts when they get this Krishna consciousness. It's going to inspire us so deeply to do it more and more. Like for example, China. I've heard that when the devotees in China, of course it's a difficult country to preach in because it's a communist country and the government is not so supportive of it. The government is not supportive at all. But when devotees somehow, preach in different ways, through yoga groups or whatever, when they share this holy name with the people of China, with people who are not devotees, those people cry because it's giving them so much satisfaction and joy. It makes them so happy. I saw this video on Facebook some days back. It was a kirtan of Niranjan Maharaj, and in a room devotees were doing kirtan, and there was a glass door, like the whole wall was made of glass. So a man outside was watching it. He came close to the glass wall, and he was leaning against the wall, and he was trying to hear, although he couldn't hear so clearly, but he was trying to hear. And he heard the kirtan for some time, and a couple of minutes later, when he left that place, he was dancing on the street when he was going. That shows us that the souls in this material world are dying to get Krishna, and we have Krishna. So we should, when we share this mercy with them, it's going to give us a lot of inspiration, and it will help us value it, that when we will see that how happy, how blissful, ecstatic conditioned souls become when they get anything related to Krishna, it's going to remind us that how valuable this thing is. Because Because kids like me people like me who grew up in Krishna consciousness, who grew up in devotee families, although it's a great fortune. But we're all the time surrounded by devotees and Krishna conscious activities that sometimes we forget its value. But by preaching, when we share this with others in whatever form, distributing books or like we had this Bhakti Sangha group, we can, come together online, or this technology is so helpful. We don't need to, even if we can't go out, we can do it in whatever situation we are in. And that will inspire us. For example, a doctor, I'm talking about genuine doctors. A lot of doctors these days, because there's so much cheating, they focus on making money, but genuine doctors, dealing with diseased bodies, it's not such a good thing. I mean, especially inside the body, there's so many dirty things that you don't even want to talk about it. And it's a sad and painful and very demanding job, seeing other people suffer. But why do they do it? Because they want to help people, and they feel really good when they see their patients get better, and all the effort, is worth it then. So we should try to become genuine devotees, that even if it's difficult, there are struggles in preaching. We should put in all our effort. And it's not just going to inspire us, but it is also going to give us the strength to practice our own bhakti. Last month, I had the opportunity to meet with His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj in Mumbai. And I was asking Maharaj that, there are ups and downs in my bhakti. There are days when I'm not able to focus so much on the practice of my Krishna consciousness. So what should I do that I can be focused and keep practicing? And Maharaj gave the answer that give what you have, preach on Facebook, on Skype, and that's because my health doesn't allow me to go out much. But Maharaj, what I understood Maharaj said was that give what you have and Krishna will give you whatever you lack. And the next thing is that Sankirtan is a Yuga Dharma. Just like a soul cannot be happy without loving Krishna, we cannot be satisfied without following our Yuga Dharma. And in Kali Yuga, we cannot sit for thousands of years and meditate on the Lord. It is not possible. But our Yuga Dharma is to preach, to share this holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. To share this with everyone, and Lord Chaitanya gave this instruction in Chaitanya Charitamrita 7, Madhya 7:128. Gyara Dekha Tarika Krishna Padesh Amara Gyara Guru Hana Tara Desh. Instruct everyone to follow the orders of the Lord Shri Krishna, of Lord Shri Krishna, as they are given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to elevate everyone in this land. So, and something very nice is that with the instruction comes the empowerment to follow it, and the Supreme Lord Himself is instructing us that we should share this holy name, share this Krishna consciousness with whoever we meet, and bring them to the level of being able to love Krishna again. So there are so many reasons why we should be preaching and doing Sankirtan. It's going to help us value, it's going to inspire us more, give us the strength. It's the direct instruction of the Supreme Lord. This is an opportunity to directly serve the Supreme Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya is so anxious all the time to see us suffering. It's heartbreaking. We actually forget this. It's really unfortunate. We're so busy in this material world in so many lifetimes that we've forgotten that it's heartbreaking for Krishna to see us suffering here like this. And He's so patient. He never leaves us even for a moment. I mean, I don't know any other person who does this with anybody. Krishna never leaves us. He's patiently waiting for us. But of course, it's really painful for him that we are suffering, and he definitely would not like to see us suffering like this. And Lord Chaitanya says that I am the only gardener. How many fruits can I distribute alone? So the Lord is asking us, He's giving us the opportunity to actually, in a way, He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead and He does not need anybody's help. But He's giving us the opportunity to purify ourselves by sharing this Krishna consciousness. There's a quote of His Holiness the Krishna Maharaj. He says that, preaching is the most intimate service that we can do, because we're directly able to, even if we share this with one soul, we are directly able to reduce the anxiety that the Lord is feeling all the time. And when we love someone, we want to take away their pain, right? So, as devotees or as aspiring devotees, our hearts should automatically go out towards preaching. And we all feel that to some extent or the other, because we experience how nice it is to be in this movement, to follow this process, that we automatically want to share it with others. But I think it's really important that we try to develop that thing in us more, that quality in us more, that we cannot stop ourselves from sharing. If we see the gurus in our movement, they are, materially speaking, they are so old, 70 years. They're all in their late 60s or 70s. And just look at how they're living their lives. As old as Shapataka Maharaj, for example, his health is so bad, like bad beyond words, and he's still not taking even a moment's rest. Or all our gurus, His Holiness Imjadamna Maharaj, His Holiness Kairaj Maharaj, all these gurus, I'm just taking a few names, but all these gurus are authorities, these leaders in our movement, are not able to stop themselves from sharing this with others. And of course, they are pure devotees, and we are trying to be pure devotees. We are trying to follow in their footsteps, and it is hard for us. Preaching is not all that easy. Also, internally and externally, there are struggles. Internally, there are struggles because our Krishna consciousness is weak. It's not all that strong, and we get distracted, or there's Maya. Maya knows very well how to find her way in. And externally, there are struggles that the external factors don't support us so much. Like, for example, China. China is a communist country, and no matter how much the devotees try or how much they want, they are not able to share Krishna consciousness freely. Or another example is Russia. There were so many struggles in when the devotees there were trying to establish this movement, and the government was totally against it. The devotees had to go through so much torture, but they did not give up. Although this Russia's example is very important for us actually. It shows us that there will be struggles, there will be a lot of struggles when we try to practice our Krishna consciousness, when we try to share this Krishna consciousness with others. But it also shows us that if we try, if devotees try, then Krishna reciprocates. And Krishna wants to reciprocate. Why would Krishna not reciprocate? Krishna has been dying to meet us since I don't know how long, and He's been patiently waiting, and now that if we are trying to practice His bhakti, He will definitely reciprocate. And one point that I want to make here is that it sometimes happens that we feel that I'm chanting, I'm doing all that I'm supposed to do, but I am, there are some struggles. We feel that the struggles are not going away. Krishna is not answering my questions. Krishna is not reciprocating. We sometimes start doubting this process. It happens with me every now and then. And that's because of lack of faith. But there's this verse in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam when the gopis and Krishna were having their pastimes, and Krishna left the gopis for some time. He disappeared from the scene, and the gopis were so restless that where is Krishna? And they were praying and praying and praying, but they could not find an answer. They were crying. They were crying tears of separation, but Krishna was nowhere to be seen. So in one of the purports it was mentioned that Krishna sometimes does not, or Krishna himself said it, I think, in one of the verses, that he sometimes he does not immediately reciprocate, and there's a reason for it. The reason is to increase his devotees' longing, to make our Krishna consciousness stronger and better and deeper. But we need to have the faith that even if, some devotees are not, unfortunately, they do not have the association, they're not in the association of devotees always due to some circumstances, and it's difficult for them. But we need to have the faith that Krishna is not leaving us. He is here with us. So, getting back to where I was, you're preaching, it makes us so much better. It increases our patience, tolerance, our knowledge. For example, when I was preparing for this class, it forced me to be more Krishna conscious, to focus on, to meditate on these verses, to think about what I can say, what I'll talk about, what I'll share, and it made me read more. It made me hear some lectures. So when we share this bhakti with others, it makes us feel more responsible that I have to be a good example. I have to share this with everyone else. So I have to be strong in my practice. And it happens with me, it happens with all of us if we notice it, that when we are just left, if we are on our own, that okay, I have to practice my own bhakti, compared to when we have services, that we have to do some services or preach or share this with others, it makes us feel more responsible, and it inspires. It doesn't force us in a negative way, positively inspires us to read more and hear more and chant better rounds. So preaching as Sankirtan is the answer to all problems in the world. Yesterday, I was listening to a lecture of His Holiness K. Raj Maharaj, a live lecture that he was giving in the Sadhasanga retreat in Port, North Carolina. And Maharaj was quoting Srila Prabhupada. He said that, Srila Prabhupada said that by Sankirtan, all problems can be solved materially and spiritually. And Maharaj is sharing a pastime that I thought I'd share with you all. It's a very nice pastime. And so the pastime was that once in Juhu in Bombay, Srila Prabhupada had a friend, a very good friend and follower named P.L. Sethi, and a very staunch devotee of Srila Prabhupada. And Giriraj Maharaj said that Mr. Sethi reminded Maharaj of Mr. Sethi's devotion to Srila Prabhupada, reminded Maharaj of Hanuman's devotion to Lord Ram. So that tells us that he was a very exalted devotee. And so Mr. Sethi was a part of, in Bombay, a part of a Kirtan group called Radha Madhav Prema Shuddha Sankirtan Mandali. And so these were all grihasthas in Mumbai, and every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. they would meet and do kirtan together, and then from 6 after a 12-hour continuous kirtan from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. they would sing some songs of Raj. So Mr. Sethi and other devotees in their group thought that instead of doing it at their homes, they thought of doing it in Shri Radha Ras Pyari temple in Juhu, and that main marble temple was still being constructed, but there was a small temple where they all would come every Sunday and do this kirtan. So Srila Prabhupada was very ill that time. His health wasn't good, and he was staying in his quarters in the Jew temple, which was on the 5th floor, and the elevator wasn't working. So Srila Prabhupada couldn't come down and the devotees couldn't come up because the elevator wasn't working. But at one point, Srila Prabhupada was listening to the kirtan the whole time, and he was feeling really good, and he was really inspired by their devotion. And at one point, to reciprocate to Srila Prabhupada, all those devotees came down, stood in front of Srila Prabhupada's, stood below Srila Prabhupada's balcony. So His Holiness the Krishna Maharaj and Mr. Sethi got Srila Prabhupada out in his balcony. They could see all the devotees below chanting and dancing. And they were all very ecstatic, and then after some time Srila Prabhupada went back in his room and he called for His Holiness Kairaj Maharaj, and he asked that, why can't our devotees do like this? And Srila Prabhupada said that our devotees can only eat and sleep. So Maharaj said that it's Srila Prabhupada's phrase for anything that wasn't Krishna conscious. And anyway, later on, Maharaj heard from Upendra Prabhu, one of Prabhupada's servant, that Prabhupada, the whole afternoon, he was talking about those, that group of devotees, the Prem Sankirtan Mandali, and praising them, and he was saying that our devotees should also do it. So anyway, the Kirtan continued, and something very sweet that's coming our way in the pastime is, at 6 p.m. when they stopped the Kirtan, and they would sing for 2 hours Braj Bhajans, a very famous lady there, she would sing, and they started singing, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Krishna, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Shri Krishna. They were going on and on and on, and Srila Prabhupada had tears in his eyes that time. And anyway, so the next day Prabhupada called for Kairaj Maharaj, and he said that the kirtan was wonderful, and he said that you invite the entire group, we'll arrange for all the facilities, the accommodation and everything, and all they have to do is do this 12-hour kirtan every day, 12 hours every day, 7 days of the week. And Maharaj said that, he said that my mind was thinking of all the different things that these people are working, their kids are going to school, and how are we going to arrange everything for them. And he didn't say it, he was just thinking, and Srila Prabhupada knew it. Prabhupada said that, okay, if not them, our men can do it daily. And Maharaj said that, Prabhupada, that's not possible, we have so many services, who's going to do all of that? And so Prabhupada said that, okay, if not every day of the week, just once a week on Sunday. And Maharaj immediately said that, yes, that's possible. And actually later on, the Krishna Maharaj told Kairaj Maharaj that Prabhupada was engaging in transcendental bargaining with you, because he wanted that 12-hour kirtan every Sunday only. If he would have started with that, he would have said that, oh, Prabhupada, maybe 4 hours or something, but because he started with a week, so he immediately agreed. But so after this pastime, Maharaj was sharing that there's this amazing phenomena related to that kirtan, this every Sunday kirtan, that Giriraj Maharaj was the temple president in Juhu, and he had to deal with many problems in a construction, devotees, even like for us foreigner devotees to survive in India was a big struggle. And that time he found this quote of Srila Prabhupada that by Sankirtan all problems can be solved materially and spiritually. He found that it really works, because so devotees would come up to him and say that I have this problem or that problem, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Maharaj could deal with those. He could give answers and he was able to solve them, but by Thursday definitely he would be looking forward to the Sunday Kirtan, and okay, now on Sunday all problems would be solved. And he would actually tell the Buddhists that, okay, give me a few. He wouldn't tell them that I'm going to wait for the Sunday Kirtan. He would just say that, okay, give me a couple of days, give me a few days, and let's meet on Monday. And he said that every single time Krishna would make this arrangement that either those devotees would realize that there's no problem at all, or that Krishna would help solve that problem. So, this is something miraculous. And coming back to where I started, that the more that the verse, that one line from the pulpit about prema vaichatya, the abundance of love that brings about grief from fear of separation, although the lover is present, which the queens of Dwarka have. So, coming back to that point, that we have this Krishna consciousness, we have the association of devotees, Krishna is sitting right in our heart, we have our gurus ready to help us as much as we need. We're getting so much mercy, we have all the opportunities in the world, and we just need to try to develop value for that. What is that fear that the queens have? They have that fear because they value Krishna's association so much that even the thought of losing it scares them. They faint, they get so worried that how am I going to survive without it? And so, we should try to develop that mood of value that the queens of Dwarka have. And how will we do that? By Sankirtan. Sankirtan, as I said at the beginning, Sankirtan is all we need, and Sankirtan is our Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada created this society so that we can inspire each other, we can be examples of good devotees and inspire each other in our bhakti. And so Sankirtan, again, it's not just going out in the streets and doing kirtan and dancing. Sankirtan is everything in our Krishna consciousness. We just need to have the desire. We need to put the endeavor to share this with others. It's going to help us value. Just to sum up the whole talk, that Sankirtan, our preaching, is going to help us value this Krishna consciousness. It's going to inspire us to practice it more and share it with others. It's going to give us the strength to practice it properly. It's going to, it's a direct instruction from the Supreme Lord. It's an opportunity to serve the Lord directly, the most intimate service. And although there will be struggles, Krishna is going to help us. And that quote of Srila Prabhupada, that all problems can be solved. And I don't really think that our focus should be to solve our problems. Our focus should be to revive our love for Krishna and help others revive that love for Krishna. And I pray that we should think prayers do wonders. So let's pray day and night that we can value this Krishna consciousness, like the queens of Dwarka value Krishna's association and service to him. And this material world is not a good place to be in. It is not meant for us. We have this Krishna consciousness. We should not let go of this opportunity. After so many lifetimes we've received this opportunity, let's not waste even a moment and grab this immediately. Everything else is temporary. What lasts is our bhakti, our love for Krishna, and Krishna's love for us. And we should focus on that. We have spent so many lifetimes trying to be happy in the material world. Has it worked? No, not at all. So let's leave that now. And Srila Prabhupada says that just give this one life to Krishna. He says it with so much emotion, and he's actually requesting us to just give this one life to Krishna fully, with all our heart and soul. And Krishna will take care of everything else. We just need to focus on this one thing. The basis, the essence of every religion, of everything, of our existence, and that is love for Krishna. So with that, I end. I've gone over the allotted time. I don't know by how many minutes, but thank you so much for listening and for being such patient listeners. And if any of you have any comments, any questions, I think we can do that now. Please accept my humble obeisances.
So much for share Krishna consciousness with everyone. Start with different mouth. Everything was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. This was nectar. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Beautiful class.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Very beautiful class. Muted. Hare Krishna Mataji, very beautiful class. Thank you so much for this beautiful class.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much for the wonderful class. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dala Pranam and glory Krishna Prabhupada Maharaj. It's a very, very nice Mataji. You just connected from the preaching and Sankirtana whole words so nicely. It's really nice how Sankirtana is really, how we should take the Sankirtana movement. The material and think how is can you give idea how we can approach and since they don't know about the name and it's practical way.
Mataji, your voice is cracking. I'm not able to understand clearly.
Mataji, when Mataji is speaking, can you please mute your phone, Mataji? Because if two speakers are on, it's echo.
Okay. Yes, I'll do that.
Mataji, Anjana Gopika Mataji now.
Yes, Mataji. Okay. Mataji, I'm asking how it's very nice class and you connected from the preaching Sankirtana movement to whole verse. So inspiring, Mataji. I'm telling how we give this Krishna consciousness and you are taking that spirit, how Tamil Krishna Maharaj that desire, that spirit you are taking, you can see from your example and you are so much means in that mood. Means how we can approach to the new people, means very who don't know about Krishna consciousness, how we can approach in practical way, Mataji.
So your question is that although even if we are able to understand this spirit of preaching, but how to approach new people and who do not know anything about it, right?
Yes.
So I think it depends on how much the other person is ready to take this Krishna consciousness. Some people are quite ripe for it, and even if you like immediately, tell them about the process that we chant 16 rounds every day and we follow the 4 regulative principles and read Srila Prabhupada's books, some people are immediately ready for it and they that very day some people just start following it, fully. But there are other people who are not so ready for it. I don't have a lot of experience of going out and preaching to a lot of different people, but I think when we pray to Krishna or to Guru and Krishna to guide us, they will guide us from within our heart and tell us how much the other person is ready, and depending on how much they can accept. I think the most important thing is to give them love, and understanding, and make them feel that we are there for them. Because in this material world right now, it is such a pitiable situation that everyone is trying to cheat each other and just trying to, everyone is so selfish right now. If not everyone, a lot of people are very selfish and they just want to, gratify their senses, and it doesn't matter to them how much they're hurting the other person. And love in the material world compared to love in the spiritual world, there's a lot of difference. The love in the material world is actually not really love. It's so shallow and it's full of selfishness. But love in the spiritual world is so selfless, and love that if we as devotees try to give them love and make them feel that we are there for them, especially in the US, I've seen that, in the West, that people are so lonely and they don't have a lot of friends who understand them. And when we share this love with them, which is the essence of all Vedic literature, is to love God, if we share that with them, then they will be able to see the difference. They will see that this love is, because it will be coming from Krishna. Because we experience love from our gurus, they get it from their gurus, going straight up to Krishna and Srimati Radharani. So that love is going to be very different. But practical ways, again, as I said, I don't have a lot of experience, of course, distributing books, or as prasadam is our sacred weapon. When a person is not fully ready to accept it, we just share this prasadam, give them some prasad, or just be friends with them. Some months back, I don't know, a couple of years back, I was watching a video of Shashika Prabhu. He was distributing books, and one young girl, she was also distributing books with him, and she came up to him and said that no one is taking books, what do I do? And he said that just make friends with people. The books should come as an afterthought, as a second thought. But first, our focus should be on making friends with them. And yeah, I think an important point is to not force it on them. Of course, sometimes we do have to push our way in, because as conditioned souls, we have this, nature, nature to rebel and to not accept it immediately. But I don't really know what to say about the practical ways. I guess depending on... Yes, yeah.
Answering it so nicely, Mataji. It's a really practical that we can show our love to them. Because the here is everywhere you can see the people chapter nature, and then we just show our love to them. That is a very practical Mataji. And Mataji, you were telling this is the class, and I hear you from you so many times. Sometimes we feel so discouraged. Yes, our practicing. You were telling something, means even though we should not be discouraged, because Krishna is always there, but we sometimes be very doubtful because when the test comes, how you tell in that case, Mataji, means how can get that person?
So I have had this experience, a lot of experience for a lot of years, when my health was going down more and more, and I just could not manage to trust Krishna. I would always question him that how can you do this to me? Why are you doing this to me? But slowly what started happening was Krishna started making arrangements that I could see that although he has put me in this, of course this is my karma that I'm in this situation, but I could see that he has a beautiful plan for me, that slowly I started realizing that he's giving me the opportunity to serve him by being an example that can inspire others in their Krishna consciousness. So, although now what happens is, now when situations come when I am doubting Krishna and this process, that why is this happening and am I even ever going to make it to Golok Vrindavan or back to Godhead? But I try to remember my past experiences, when even if it's a small thing, I think remembering, trying to focus on that in the past there was a problem, and then I saw later on that Krishna had a beautiful reason. So that would give us hope, and that would help increase our faith, I think. And of course, praying that Krishna, I really wanted. So I do that sometimes, even if I'm very sad or something, a negative emotion, and I try to pray to Krishna, even if it's not coming from deep within my heart. Still, I try to say that Krishna, it's not coming from deep within my heart, but please help me trust you. I want to have faith in you. I do not want to question you. I want to love you again. So please help me have faith in you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Also, I really like you share that 3 resolution on New Year time. Can you share one time more, Mataji, on the devotee can see here? That is very, very inspiring.
Oh, my New Year resolutions. I hope I remember them properly.
Yeah, it's fine, Mataji. If you remember, you can share. Otherwise, fine.
I think I had 3 New Year resolutions. One was to distribute books. That is because we have this opportunity. We have these books of Srila Prabhupada, transcendental literature. And Srila Prabhupada said that even if somebody touches that book of his, a book of Srila Prabhupada, even if somebody touches that book, or even if he sees one page of that book, reads one word, the spiritual life begins that time. So one was to distribute books, whatever we can do, once a month, once in 15 days, whatever we can manage, but try to do it. Another one was to push ourselves out of, this is my resolution, to push myself out of my comfort zone. There are opportunities in our life that we should be grabbing, we want to do that, or we have desires, things that we want to do that we should do, but we have this fear in us that, oh no, how will I do it? So it's just a matter of pushing ourselves a little bit. And I mean, it's not very intelligent to miss out on opportunities and not try to achieve our goals and dreams just because we have some fear. This was the second one, to push myself out of my comfort zone. And I think the third one was to be honest. Being honest to myself to begin with, to accept myself for who I am. Because unless we accept ourselves, unless we accept our impurities, unless we own them, we won't be able to rectify it. We have to first recognize what disease we have, and only then it can be treated, right? So, being honest to myself and to whoever, of course, it's hard to sometimes find people who we can trust fully. There are so many, this trust issue is so much there in the world right now. But try to find someone who we can trust and open our heart to, because keeping things in our heart and keeping things inside is only going to create problems. So, and being honest was the third one. Maybe I'm missing out on some point, but this is what I'm remembering right now.
Thank you, Mataji. Very inspiring for us. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Wonderful class, very wonderful class, and very sweet pastimes also were shared. Mataji, I did have a question. So, how do we teach ourselves and also help others also identify that difficulties are not something that was thrown on us because Krishna loves us less, and how to make how do we appreciate and identify that difficulty is because he is trying to get us closer to him? I hope you understand.
Yeah, so your question is that when we have difficulties in our lives, how to have the faith that it is Krishna's mercy?
Yes, Mataji.
I think it begins with having some basic faith in Krishna. I mean, Krishna is our greatest well-wisher, and we can see it all around us. Even like we have this, these basic facilities that we need to stay alive: sunlight, water, oxygen to breathe, food to eat, houses to live in, clothes to wear. These are like very basic things of that we can see, we can speak, we can hear, we can communicate with people. We are not living alone. Or when we left the spiritual world, although we left it out of our whatever ignorance or foolishness, that we wanted to be the enjoyers, and that's why we left the spiritual world. I think Krishna, it's up to Krishna, right? He created this material world. He gave us a place to go to. Otherwise, I don't know where we would have been right now if he wouldn't have created the material world. He gave us a home even though we left him. So that's like a very basic faith that, we can see all around us, and that can help us develop that faith. But more so as devotees, we see that Krishna, we have these Vedic literatures which tell us, our scriptures or devotees like Srila Prabhupada who come to this material world specifically just to help us, or Krishna himself comes. There's this verse in the Gita which I don't remember right now properly, but it says that Krishna comes to satisfy his devotees, to help them. So, of course, this is all theoretical. I completely understand what you are saying because I have had the experience with my health since I was a little girl, and it is very difficult in the middle of a difficult situation. We cannot. It becomes very difficult to accept it as Krishna's mercy. But I think faith increases by chanting and reading and hearing and praying and associating with devotees. And I think we have to some extent, push ourselves to have that faith. And especially if we have had experiences in the past that there was a difficult circumstance, but then something beautiful turned out, and we saw that it was Krishna's arrangement. The thing is that Krishna really, as we all know, Krishna really wants us to come back to him. So why would he create any situation which would take us away from him? There it is mentioned in the scriptures that Krishna wants to help his devotees. So we need to, His Grace Bhurijan Prabhuji once told me that Krishna has given you a very special blessing, but it's a difficult blessing. So, Krishna does not have anything else to give us. He only has his love and mercy. No matter how much he wants, he does not have anything else to give us. Like even Putana was trying to kill Krishna, but he gave her the position of one of his mothers in the spiritual world. Or even the demons, when Krishna killed the demons in Vrindavan, when he appeared on this earth, those demons got liberated. So that shows that if demons were trying to disturb Krishna's devotees, if Krishna liberates them, then we are positively trying to do his bhakti. He would not do anything wrong to us. We need to remember this over and over and over and over again. That Krishna will not ever, never harm us. Krishna only wants to love us more and more, and he wants to help us revive our love for him. So, and of course, praying and reading and hearing, this whole process, if we focus on our sadhana, and associate with devotees more and more. I think that's going to help us.
Yes,
And
Mataji.
and try to see the good in the situation. Every situation has something good or good and something bad. So try to see the good in the situation. Being positive, like being positive, we heard it so many times. It's actually something very important. And we will try to learn. I do this all the time. I want to learn what I can learn in this situation and how it can bring me closer to Krishna. I try to have that attitude, and that will help us have that faith that it is Krishna's mercy.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Once again, thank you so much, Mataji. You were talking in the lecture, in the beginning of the lecture, about Parishit Maharaj, how Parishit Maharaj got 1 week of the time, but we don't know even when we are going to have the death. We have to be each and every moment very strict in our sadhana and try to, especially you wrote on Vyasa Puja Day for Prabhupada, in your introduction, Mataji, as Mataji, you have written very, very nicely. And you are really very good example for all of us, Mataji, such an elevated person you are. We always, especially in my case, even small problems, small health, the way you are doing your level of sadhana and your bhakti is, wow, Mataji, it's inspiring me a lot and lot, Mataji. Thank you so much for such a beautiful class and giving your assistant, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. I really believe that it's only because of the prayers and blessings of devotees like you all that I am able to do whatever I'm able to do. And actually, it is only this Krishna consciousness that I am even alive right now. Because according to doctors and astrologers, I am not supposed to be here right now. And, my health, all the struggles that I've been facing, it is only because of the association and love and mercy of devotees that I am able to practice Krishna consciousness. And one of you, some time back, you asked my New Year resolutions, and I wasn't able to remember the fourth one. So the fourth one was untying knots and retying them. So sometimes it so happens, like it happened with me when I came to know that I do not have a lot of time left. Around 2 years back, I wanted to utilize every single moment in my Krishna consciousness. I did not want to get distracted. So I was in a way, totally focusing. But in that process, I somehow ended up doing some things like pushing myself maybe more than I should be. But basically that I realized that we make some rules for ourselves sometimes, or make some systems which are either premature or they do not need to be there after a certain amount of time. So untying wrongly tied knots and retying them, like sorting our life inside and outside, because until we sort things around us and inside us especially, we won't be able to, like the blackboard needs to be empty, right? Otherwise we won't be able to write anything else, or we won't understand what's there. So that was my fourth New Year resolution.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much. So true, Mataji. With devotees, blessings and association, only everything happens. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing this one.
Hare Krishna. Is there anybody having any more questions and realization for Mataji? If there are no more questions and realization, I want to once again thank you, Mataji, for such a beautiful class, and we are looking forward for your association in future. Please bless us with your association, Mataji. Such a beautiful class. I want to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarobhyasya. वैष्णव वृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, हर ग्रेस मदन मोहन मोहिनी माता जी की जय. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This session is no longer being recorded.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Goodbye.
So thank you so much, all of you out there on Facebook, Sarangi Radhika Mataji, Nikita Mataji, Gauranga Nityananda Prabhu, Ayushi Didi, Saurabh Prabhu, Adidev Gaur Prabhu, and all of you for joining in, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Hare Krishna.